So we're going to talk about a reservation of rights letter that you may have received from your insurance company. What is it? What are the next steps? What should you expect? So my name is Mike Keeler. I'm a licensed public adjuster in the state of Florida. So what is this letter? Well, it's nothing really more than an intimidation and a bullying technique. See, receiving a letter serves as an indicator to the insured that the claim may be denied or the information provided in the original claim triggered questions that the insurance company wants further evaluation on. For example, the claim might be incomplete or may contain contradictory information. Most of the time, it seems to be they don't like anything being late reported. Now, all this should lead to the very high probability that your claim will be denied. So what happens next? Well, you're going to find out that they're going to request documents as part of their investigation. Expect a recorded statement. Expect them to request a proof of loss, and expect a field adjuster to report nothing positive or good on your behalf for this claim. We're going to take a look at an exact reservation of rights letter. Okay, let's take a look at this reservation of rights letter. Now, this is from a company called Frontline. We are issuing this reservation of rights letter to you because there's a question as to whether Frontline is obligated to indemnify you under the policy. That's custom language. Failure to comply with the following duties of loss, may jeopardize. Now, what they're hoping to do in some of these documents requests is that if you don't and you have to sue them, they're going to come back and cry that their investigation was prejudiced. That's how dirty they play. So they give all these little, it's questionable, okay? Talk about 24 days here after reported day of loss. Now, they don't like it, but their policy actually states it's your duties after a loss. Give immediate notice to us or your agent. So they don't like that this was reported 24 days, but again, it doesn't specify any days. Okay? It's questionable whether you protected the insured property from further damage. It's questionable whether you kept accurate record. Goes on and on. Then this comes to the claim itself. All right? So they talk about here things I always tell you guys in my videos, right? Anything with water damage. It's questionable whether the loss was caused by repeated seepage or leakage of water. Now, why is that important? Because constant or repeated seepage or leakage is not covered. It's questionable whether the loss was caused by wear and tear. Why'd they put that? Because that's always what they use. They always use these two things in any water damage claim. Well, that's wear and tear. Well, that's repeated seepage or leakage, which is also another more defined term for long-term water leak. All right, repeated seepage or leakage. So then they go on to say that, listen, we want a recorded statement from you. And see, they're hoping that you miss this because then they can come back and use it against you. I don't know if I highlight anything else. Okay, so here's some of that documentation. Cause of loss. Retain to provide evidence of the cause of loss and provide documentation as the repair of the source or loss. Any emergency service documents, so in other words, water mitigation, they'll have that. Cause of loss, give them a plumber's invoice. That's fine. Rebuild estimates, and here's a proof of loss. They're going to require know how to properly fill this out, because again, all this is meant for you to screw up or give them an avenue to deny the claim, and even legally there's not a basis for it. And this is kind of funny, but this shows you the lengths are going to go to try and deny your claim. So supposedly my client purchased a house in 2021. Even though this is 3 years later, they want the home inspection and seller disclosures. Why? Try and point to something else if all these other things fail. Okay, that's what it's coming down to. It's coming down to the fact that this gentleman reported a couple weeks late and they don't like it. So they're going to do and use every dirty trick in the book to not pay the claim. So these reservation of rights letters are meant to intimidate. They're meant to kind of scare a person into probably volunteering too much information. All in all, depending on what they request, but sometimes people give verbally more information than they should, right? Now, you have a duty to comply with what they request. But sometimes what you give them can be adequate in their requests. For example, that cause of loss that I just went over with you guys in the form. Now, they may require all this other stuff, but it may be that the plumber's invoice perfectly fits within that option of what you can give them to prove a cause of loss, to prove it was a pipe break, it was a water line break, whatever that might be. But more often than not, when you get a reservation of rights letter, it's probably going to get denied, especially if you're in Florida. You might have a better chance of it not getting denied. It doesn't improve your chances significantly, but not being in Florida will improve your chances significantly, because insurance companies in Florida are the absolute worst in the world. Absolute worst. So just prepare for that. If you did get a reservation on rights letter, you're in Florida, get somebody to represent you. Stop trying to represent yourself. You're just going to mess things up. Okay. So again, my name is Mike Keeler, licensed public adjuster in Florida. Here's my information on how you can get a hold of me if you have a question or need help with a claim. Thank you for watching this video.